Good evening, everyone. This is another episode of PodHeitor, which is now live, the most richly produced show on the internet, broadcasting directly from Brasilia, Brazil. A special thanks for our sponsors, THS Tecnologia, IT solutions that drive your business forward, Bacula Enterprise, the leading backup solution for enterprise data centers, and we also have the support of Capital Digital, Dicas Linux, and Big Linux. As always, we will have prizes for the best questions. You might win an exclusive surprise brought by our guest, okay, which is a very, very nice book that was recently published. And please take a second right now to hit the like button. It truly helps us. Our guest tonight is a French-born international executive who spent more than 35 years in the global software industry, building and leading multinational sales organizations across Europe, the Americas, Asia Pacific, and the Middle East. Fluent in multiple languages and with operational experience in over 40 countries, he developed a deep multicultural and geopolitical perspective. In 2025, he transitioned into linguistics and writing. He is now a professional linguist and the author of The Point of No Return, a political thriller inspired by his decade in Singapore and his experience as a taekwondo instructor. With you now, we have the amazing Aristide Caraccio. Good night, Aristide. How are you?
Thank you very much. Good night, Heitor.
So it's a pleasure having you here at our show.
Thank you for having me.
How is everything in Tampa? Is it good? How is the weather?
Fantastic. In Florida, the weather is finally back to the Florida weather because we had some episode of cold wave and I was not really appreciated, to tell you the truth. Now we are back.
Okay, thank you very much. So, Arsid, let's start. After more than 35 years in global software leadership, what changed what changed the most in the international business?
Heitor, I would say the speed of everything. Technology cycles, decision making, information flow. When I started, deals took months with faxes. I don't know if your audience know what is a fax,
Yeah,
and a lot of travel. Now it's real time with AI tools and virtual teams. But the human element, like trust, relationship, cultural nuances, hasn't changed as much as people think. It's just harder to build authentically at scale. That's the big difference.
I see. Yeah, things are changing a lot, right?
Hmm.
What distinguishes executives who succeed internationally from those who fail?
Yeah, that's a good question. A very good question. I would say, Heitor, adaptability and genuine curiosity about other cultures. Uh, uh, they really, those two things win over rigid strategy or ego. Successful ones listen first, learn local norms, build diverse teams, and stay humble. Failures often assume their home market playbook works everywhere, or they also underestimate emotional intelligence. So that's these two aspects of a successful one and one will fail.
I see. I believe I'm going to go out of script here. I believe you made you coursed a discipline on Harvard, or maybe I'm confused. I guess
Excuse me, I
on
didn't get it.
Harvard, on Harvard, the university.
Oh no,
I
I
think you
didn't
did.
go. No, no, I did.
Ah,
No, I had an MBA from the International School of Management in Paris and New York.
man. Oh, in New York. Yes, I
Yeah,
make a little bit
yeah.
of confusion.
Mm.
How was that course different than the real world?
Well, this course was fantastic in the sense that it gives you all the basis of, I would say, business management. And my major was international business. So you could add up all these aspects of international business that includes culture, that includes way of doing business in each region of the world, etc. So it's the basis. But at the end of the day, what really is important is to be there on the field, understand, and as I said when I was talking about successful executives, to make sure that we listen, that we learn in each region. And you know as well as I do, because you are also in this international field, that you don't do business in China just like you will do business in the US or in France or in Italy, etc. So you need to make sure that you understand each time those aspects. And the MBA that I prepared and had allowed me to have all these bases. But again, the field is the truth.
I see. You also has experience as a manager, right? How did you
Yes.
manage in teams across more than 40 countries, and how did it shape your leadership philosophy?
Mm. This experience taught me that leadership is, if you allow me this word, contextual, not universal. One style doesn't fit all. You could be more direct in the US, more consensus driven in parts of Asia, some parts of Asia, hierarchical in others. But really, Heitor, the core, I think, is empathy, clear purpose, very important, and don't forget, empowering local leaders while aligning on global goals. You or even me, who am I to say that you have to do these kind of things like this and this way with this fashion in Japan? Okay. Uh, I have a leader in Japan. He knows exactly what to do, and I trust him about that. And then we just need to make sure that we align the goals of the company that we work for with the local aspects, might it be in Japan, in China, or in France, or etc. So that's where I think I learned a lot during this time of managing teams all over the world.
Very nice. So, what was your most difficult cross-cultural negotiation?
Okay, back in 2000, the China mainland market just opened. Okay, and I was the VP of Asia Pacific at that time for a software company, and I was dealing with markets that were already quite mature, like Singapore, like Australia, like New Zealand, Hong Kong, etc., etc. Nothing in China mainland. Okay, nothing, because the market was just opening at that time. So my personal mission that I gave to myself was to open the market for the company I was working for. And here I learned that you can't use your techniques and tactics and strategies just like you are doing that in Europe or in the US. You have first to build relationship. Okay. Secondly, it's better if you speak a little bit the language. So what did I do? I learned Mandarin. Okay. And I started to build a relationship with business partners that I appointed there in China mainland, in mainly Beijing and Shanghai. And I started to work on that. And frankly speaking, there was zero revenue for 1 year. Okay. But after that, and during the next 5 to 6 years, the revenue was flowing from China mainland, which was a market at $0 when I started. Okay. So
Mm,
you couldn't go there, jump and say, okay, now I'm gonna get $10 million of revenue. It was impossible. You had to go through that, and it was difficult. First of all, to learn a language was not easy. Okay, so it was intense, but it was very useful, because then when I was meeting with not only business partners but also the end users, and at that time it was mainly government people. Okay, it helped me a lot to build this relationship. So that was difficult, but we succeeded.
No, that's amazing. So, do you think? So we finish this block of questions. Do you think
Mm.
it's more about strategy, commercial strategy, or is it more about cultural intelligence?
Both, I think, Heitor, that both are essential. But cultural intelligence is the multiplier. Okay, that's the way I see it. Great strategy fails without it. That's for sure. Mediocre strategy succeeds with deep cultural insight, because execution depends on people. So I'm a firm believer that the cultural intelligence is a multiplier for that.
Okay, that's amazing. So to the audience, I'm going to share. I'm going to put the link for Aristide's book. You can take a look on Amazon.com. You have a version for Kindle. You have also a hard copy version.
Yes.
So uh, I'm dying. I read a little bit of the book, and it seems really amazing. And I'm dying to finish it. And the best part is we're going to give as a gift to the person who made the best question. We are going to Aristide graciously. It's going to send one digital copy as a gift. Okay, so we are going to talk about a little bit more about the book later. So, Aristide, what are the biggest strategic difference between Asia, Europe, and the US?
Huh. Let me try to be very concise here. Uh, US, United States of America. Fast, innovation first, risk embracing. That would be the main characteristics for the US market. Europe, and I'm including all the countries here, even though sometimes there are some nuances, but still, um, regulated, consensus oriented, sustainability focused, longer term stability. Okay. And if I talk about Asia, and especially East and Southeast Asia, as I explained, relationship driven, okay, hierarchical yet agile, so there is some agility here, massive scale with government influence, that's a big difference here, emphasis on harmony and long horizons. So that would be the main characteristic for Asia and Southeast and Asia mainly.
Okay, you talked a little bit about risk tolerance. How the risk tolerance differ between American and European executives?
Well, I think that you will share my view here, because I know you a little bit. Americans see a risk as an opportunity, okay, and failure also as learning. So that's the spirit in the US. And they can, because of that, they can pivot quickly, right? Europeans, they prioritize risk mitigation. Okay, that's the difference. Compliance, obviously, and avoiding downside. So
I
they are
see.
more conservative, which you would agree with me, which can slow innovation in a way. but also, and that's the positive side, builds resilience.
I see.
Would you agree?
Yes, yes, I agree. I think the U in the US, they are like I don't want to use the wrong word here, but they are very, they always try to mitigate risk any way as possible. So when you had the ransomware crisis, when they were increasingly affecting companies, they invented something that was the cyber attack insurance.
Yeah.
And that's crazy because if you have your data stolen, if you have your data lost, nothing is going to, no insurance is going to help you. So
Mm.
sometimes the insurance it's not the way. But where do you see the most resilient innovation ecosystems today? Do you think it's Europe or the US?
Oh, I think it's still the US and Silicon Valley for the breakthrough tech. I mean, so this is nobody can deny it. We see it every day, and since a long time. You and I, we are in the IT for some time, so we saw it and we still see it. But I have to say also that East Asia, Singapore, Shenzhen in China mainland, Seoul in South Korea, are here also for more applied, um, scalable innovation. Uh, while Europe excels in deep tech like AI ethics. Okay, so in Europe they talk a lot about AI ethics, green energy. So you see that a lot also in Europe. And so basically, these are the three main parts of this resilient innovation. And resilience comes from blending government support, talent mobility, and risk appetite. Okay, so you have to blend those three aspects here to be successful.
Oh, I see. We have a question from the audience. How does long-term vision in Asia compare to the Western quarterly pressure?
That's exactly a good question here, because in Asia, as we all understand, their vision is 5, 10 years, and so they really build everything around this vision. While in the US, mainly, but also in Europe, we have to say, you have the pressure for each quarter. So each quarter you have to get the right level of revenue, you have to get the right level of profits, etc. And I think that this has an incidence on the activity of the companies. So where is the long-term vision for startup, for example? They don't really have one. The only thing that they have is, okay, we have a new product or new technology. We're going to put it on the market. We're going to finance it with VCs, etc. And then we're going to be on the stock exchange, and we're going to sell the company. Okay. While in Asia, mainly, this doesn't really exist. So it's more, we're going to have the team all together. We're going to create this new technology. We're going to make sure that we have the right marketing, and we're going to penetrate the markets one by one, or in a concomitant way, etc. So depending on the company, but we have this vision of 10 years. So basically, that also means that resilience is, I think, stronger because of these different views in Asia.
Oh, I see. The basis is stronger, right? The
Yes,
basis is
yes, exactly. The base is stronger. Exactly.
okay. So, what surprised you most about working and living in the US?
Or frankly speaking, the most important, and I could see that because I used to work with American companies before living in the US, but it just confirmed what I thought, is the sheer optimism and the can-do attitude. Okay, people here in the US genuinely believe that they can change the world, and they really believe in that. And the scale of ambition and willingness to even fail publicly contrast with a more cautious European approach. And so this is something that I was not surprised in a sense, but it was confirmed to me. And this is, I think, the huge strength of the US, definitely.
Okay. There is this myth that I was always curious about, that an executive can only perform well for something about 5, 7 years, right? And after that, he should maybe step up or do another function. Do you believe in that? What do you think about that?
You know, Heitor, I think that there is some truth to it. Okay. You know that fresh eyes bring energy, avoid also complacency. But it really depends on the person and the company, to tell you the truth. Some executives renew through learning, through new challenges, or even self-reflection. And I have to admit on my side that I stayed longer in roles by evolving myself. Okay, I'm not the same person that I was when I was 25 years old. That's for sure. And above all, in our industry, as you know, we evolved. If we talk about technology, so fast, so much, and we still continue now with the AI aspects, etc., that are coming. That if you don't evolve, you don't stay in this industry long. That's for sure.
But don't you think this puts more pressure? I don't know numbers from the US, but here in Brazil, for example, many workers, many people are facing with, I don't know, psychiatric medicine for anxiety and depression,
Mhm.
and there are a lot of burnout cases. Don't you
Yes.
think it puts more pressure?
Yeah, it does. You're right. It does. I think that, and I saw it. I saw people collapsing. I saw burnouts. I saw people driving crazy, to tell you the truth. This is completely true. But I saw also, unfortunately, I saw also some of those people in other industry. Okay, so we cannot say that it is only in IT, it's everywhere. It's the pressure of the corporate world that because you know they have themselves the pressure of the shareholders, they have the pressure of the market, they have the pressure of competition, etc. So you are in the insurance industry, you are in the pharmaceutical industry, you are in the IT industry, you will see those cases. Unfortunately, this is the world today.
Uh, Another question out of script. How did you dealt with the pandemic, the COVID pandemic? How it was? I know it was very hard for many companies, but what special measures did your ideas did you have to cope with that special time frame?
Yeah, so first of all, I have to admit that when the pandemic started, I was already residing in Florida. And in Florida, frankly speaking, the way it was managed had nothing to see with the rest of the US or other countries in Europe, for example. So basically, we were, I have to say, a bit more free, okay, to do things. Not all the businesses were closed, just like in some other countries, etc. On the business standpoint, the company I used to work for, we were already all distributed worldwide. And everybody, salespeople, technical people, pre-sales people, finance people, etc., they were all working from home. Okay, so it didn't really change. I'm talking about the employees aspect here. It didn't really change. And then on the business side, this was difficult, just like for everybody. It was difficult to close deals, to even find new opportunities, etc. And so we had to double our efforts to be able to continue in having the stream of revenue that we were planning to have. And at the end of the day, despite the 2 years of this terrible time for everybody, we could still show some growth in our revenue. So that was really something, a huge performance, frankly speaking.
Nice. So, Aristide, coming back to the long-term tenured executives, how did you personally deal with you said that you had more than 10 years at the same position. How did you psychologically dealt with that situations?
As I said, you need to make sure that you focus and concentrate on the right things. Okay, so if I take my own example, what I did is I always worked on new projects. Okay, so for example, developing new markets, developing new markets, geographical markets, but also new markets like new industries or new solutions combining different products. So each time it was something new that I was working on, and making sure also that my day-to-day work was also done, and that my responsibilities were assumed and filled. But working on new projects was definitely something that allowed me to stay a long time in this role. And it was always exciting. Me personally, I always like to start something. Okay, I had my own first company when I was 28 years old in the IT. I was distributing networking products at that time, so it was pretty new for the French market. I started for American companies, subsidiaries back in France, to work on Southern Europe, France, Southern Europe, Middle East, Israel, Africa, all the countries that the American didn't want to see. So for the other company, I started the marketing, sales, and pre-sales departments. So I'm a starter, okay, and I like that. And so when you stay more than 10 years in the same company, if you don't start some new projects, definitely for me it would have been boring. And so thanks God I had this project to work on.
Yeah, I think you are challenge driven, right?
Yes,
That's what moves you. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Aristide, you talk a little bit about expansion. When do you think it's time to expand to new markets?
It really depends on the company that you work for, and it also depends on the product, to tell you the truth. And it depends also on the roots of the company. And here I have to do some distinguo, I would say, between US companies and European companies. In the US, okay, the question is very simple, is we want to penetrate those markets, okay, with this product. We know that we have the right product, so there is some studies obviously that are done, and now it's just a matter of executing, okay? And executing in the US means two things: resources, okay, and finance, okay? And we put everything in the jar and we go. And so if we want to go now, we go now. It's not a problem. In Europe, it's a little bit different, and that's what I was talking about at the right beginning. We want to see if we are successful in this country, in this market, and then maybe in this region. And then after that, we will see if we are okay to maybe penetrate the US. Yeah, but in order to do that, you need to create a subsidiary. You have all these kind of things. Then you want to go to Brazil, but how do you do it? Through a business partner, etc. So you will do it step by step. And a big difference with the US that I could see in my own experience is that it is easy to set up goals, objectives, time frame, etc. But sometimes in Europe, we forget two main things: resources and finance. And so you end up with a team, sales, pre-sales, whatever, without the real means that will allow them to be successful. And that makes things more difficult for them. In the US, you see that very seldom. Okay, in Europe, you see it from time to time, a little bit less now because I think people are understand a little bit better the situation. But I could see that in my young years. That's for sure.
Let me do a trick question. I know that you have a little bit of experience with that. How would you expand the product to the US? You know, it's a very competitive market that tends to prefer local solutions, and the US has basically any type of solution. So, how would you do that?
Well, basically, first of all, I would make sure that we have a product or a solution, then it depends what it is, that is fully compliant with the US market. Okay, so we need to make sure that the compliance is here, and that we will not have any legal problems or other kind of problems. The second thing is that we need to build, and this is back to what we were talking about at the right beginning, we need to build a team, a local team. Okay, I'm not American. Okay, I'm not a US guy. When I speak with a French accent. Okay, when you do business, you need to have local people who are able to entertain and converse and convince and please the end users, right, or the business partners. So you need to build this team and make sure that you bring all the necessary resources and means for the team to be successful. Okay, and then you make sure also that your marketing, okay, to support your sales efforts, your marketing takes into account the market that we are addressing. Okay, you don't talk to the US just like you are talking to French customers. Okay, when we talk about promotion, marketing, and all these kind of things, it's completely different. So you need to make sure that you think global, but you act local. Okay,
I see.
and finally, you have along with the team leader, local team leader, you have to understand what is the strategy that you want to set up there. So do you want to go direct? Do you want to go through business partners? If you want to go through business partners, is it a 2-tier, a 1-tier? Which type of second-tier business partners do you want to work with? Global systems integrators or just resellers? You know, that's all these questions. But who are you to decide? Okay, in the company that I used to work for, in some countries we were going 1-tier, so only one distributor. Okay, on some other countries we were going 2-tier, so one distributor and maybe 2 or 3 resellers or VARs or system integrators. Okay, and on some other markets we are going direct. Okay, it always depends on each market, and the decision about this strategy is between the sales leader, the local sales leader, and the company.
I see. Okay, let's change a little bit to AI and the labor market. How is AI reshaping strategic decision making at executive levels? I'm asking that because there are many experience nowadays where AI agents they are replacing executive decisions and etc. Do you believe in that? Do you think that's possible?
You know, I would say that AI. First of all, let's define AI. What is AI? AI is a tool. Okay, so let's not trying to be carried away here with AI and this and that, etc. Let's try to be to keep some common sense. AI is a tool, okay, and it's an important tool, okay, because I think that it's augmenting speed and data analysis. Okay, so basically, scenarios that you want to work on, forecast, risk modeling, all these kind of things, AI will be a fantastic tool to help you to work on that. But let's make it clear: executives still own judgment, ethics, the human context of the business. And if I want to summarize a little bit this aspect here, according to me, okay, you can disagree, but I think that AI is a tool that you need and that will handle for you the what if volume, if you want. Okay, and in this sense, AI is very important. It's a revolution. It is a huge revolution. Just like you and I, we have known other revolutions before in the IT industry.
I see. But did you already see strategic leaders being replaced by AI-driven systems?
No, not replaced. I insist, more
No.
augmented.
Okay.
If you take the example of a routine strategy like budgeting or reporting, this can be fully automated thanks to AI. So, will it replace some people? Yes, yes, it will. Some of them will be replaced. Um, but at the end of the day, not so much if you look at the rest, because, and we are in the aspect of business here, right? The high level vision, the negotiation, okay, the crisis leadership, all these kind of things, they remain human and they cannot be replaced by the AI tool. So I still see the AI tool as something that will allow you to augment the volume of what you are doing actually.
I see. Anyway, what jobs do you think are the most vulnerable in the next 5, 10 years, Aristide, to be replaced?
I would say the low end jobs, definitely this will happen, and this is in all industries, and I think that we start to see some of them. Okay, we all have heard recently about some layoff waves of big companies, mentioning that AI can replace many of those employees that are laid off. I think this is true for a part, not completely, but true for a part. So you will see that, but let's see what happened some years ago or some decades ago. Do you think that 40 years ago we were having the same job that we're having today? Heitor,
No.
I got 4 kids. Okay, 3 of them are working in social media. Do you know that when I was a kid, 20 years, I knew what was social media? It didn't exist.
No,
There was
not
no
at all.
internet, there was nothing. And out of 4 kids, I have 3 of them in social media. That's crazy. And so 40 years ago, or 50 years ago, 60 years ago, it didn't exist. So the job market is evolving, and AI is indeed precipitating a little bit this change. And so people are scared, and that's quite normal. Just like 50 years ago, people were scared because they were replaced by robots in the automakers industries. So that's, I would say, natural evolution. And AI is here to augment the volume of what you are doing. That means that maybe we not need some people that are doing this job instead of AI.
Yeah, today I was presented by a solution developed by a startup that I found it was very scary. It was a job interviewer. So
Oh.
just an online platform, and you put your camera, and the AI is looking if you are like typing too much and querying other AI or doing some research. and it makes amazing questions. It was like a true interview. Of course, you can always have human interviewees, but I thought it was very
It
scary,
is.
and
Mm. And it's scary also for the interviewee. I mean,
yeah,
definitely it is.
yeah, I believe many jobs are going to change.
Yeah. Mm.
So let's talk about your uh, just released book, The Point
Mhm.
of No Return.
Point of no return. Yeah.
That was very interesting, right? You lived in the one of the most amazing cities in the world, which is Singapore.
Mm.
So, what personal experience in Singapore inspired the story?
Well, living there for a decade, so I raised my children there in Singapore. I could see its efficiency. Okay, it's multiculturalism. So you have Chinese people, you have Indian people, you have Malay people, you have the expat, the white people, etc. So it's really a mix of all races. I could see also strict governance. Okay, just to give an example, my daughter of 7 years at that time, I could let her in the middle of the street at midnight. Nothing would happen to her. Nothing. Okay, so I couldn't say that regarding France, to tell you the truth. And I could see also, frankly speaking, Hater, some underlying tensions, like wealth gaps. Okay, very very rich people, poorer people, foreign influence. Okay, Singapore is a very tiny island, and so
Island,
there
yeah.
is, and there was, and there still is a lot of geopolitical pressure. Okay, um, but I was an expat there, so the expat life, the martial arts community also, because I did taekwondo, I practiced taekwondo for 10 years. I was a black belt 3 Dan, and an instructor also. Um, uh, Everything inspired this thriller backdrop. Yeah.
That's amazing. And I was just curious, why did you choose to write a political thriller format instead of a non-fiction book?
You know what? Because fiction, I think, personally, that fiction reaches wider audiences emotionally. Okay, fiction has this, I think, has this power. Just like when you go to a movie, or fiction has this power. Um, and I think that the readers leave the stakes here. Non-fiction can feel dry a little bit, or maybe preachy sometimes. A story lets themes of corruption and fragility, I think, emerge naturally through the characters. Okay, if that would have been a non-fiction, that would have been much more difficult to talk about those themes.
But is that fiction based on real facts, or is just
No, no, it's not.
no, not at all?
And basically, this novel is based in Singapore, because I know the place. Based also on French characters, because I'm French. But for the rest, it's really, really fiction. However, in this fiction, I'm trying to give a message. Okay, and the message is, if you have a country so stable like Singapore, right? So you have no country more stable than Singapore. You still need to understand that there are some risks, okay, that can happen. And look at the world that we are living today. Okay, maybe let's say 1 year ago, 2 years ago, you were living in a certain world, and we can say that this world is changing within the last 1 year, okay, and changing drastically. So what you and I we thought was okay, stable, everything is okay, everything is not fantastic, but we can deal with it. Now we say, oh, what's happening here? Okay, I remember myself in January, so not a long time ago, in January, saying to my wife, wow, it starts to be a little bit shaky. What's happening in this moment? We talk about Middle East. We talk about things that are not solved in Russia and Ukraine. All these kind of things, China, etc. So there is something that is uncertain, to tell you the truth, and so stability that we thought was there is not there anymore, and that's scary. And so this is the message that I wanted to give before what's happening with this book.
Do you think, now come back to reality, do you think we are close to a very big war?
No, I don't think so. I think that people at the end of the day will be clever enough to avoid that. But it's scary. I don't think this will happen, thanks God, and knock on wood. But it is scary. And today, what do we see? We see situations, okay? But what you can also say, Heitor, is that even though those situations are scary, you can see that people are still talking, okay? And I think this is the main point and a positive point. People talk, people still converse, people try to find agreements, okay? I'm not saying it's easy, but at least they are there and they are trying, okay? And so because of this, I think that we will be able to come back to a certain stability. I don't know when. That's the problem, but I'm optimistic, and I hope that this will happen. Yeah.
I hope you are right.
Yeah.
Coming back to your novel, Aristide, it speaks about corruption and societal fragility. Is that part a fiction or a warning?
You know, Heitor, both. You know, being rooted in real observations of power dynamics. Okay, um, but it is dramatized. It's a non-fiction, right? Um, However, as I said, it's a cautionary tale. Societies can seem stable
Mhm.
until a trigger exposes cracks, and that's exactly what we were talking about. And so that's why it's kind of both.
I see. How did your taekwondo background influence the book?
Wow. As a black belt and an instructor, uh, I moved in real discipline. Okay. And my kids also practice taekwondo for a long time. They are all black belts also. So it was good for them to go through that, because when you are a kid, you need to learn also discipline, stuff like that, and martial art help them to go through that. So real discipline, philosophy, okay, very important in martial art, and I would say training intensity. When you have to prepare for your third dan in black belt, believe me, it's not 1 hour per week. It's 3, 4, 5 hours per day in order to be ready. So it's quite intense here. Um, and reading the book, you will see that it grounds the protagonist resilience, and really, I think, adds authenticity to the high stake scenes that there are in the book, where you have some fights that are described with a certain reality, because I went through that.
Nice. The book suggests that some moments in history are irreversible. Are we living one now? We talked a little bit, but do you
We talked
think?
about it a little bit, and I think that we are actually. We are
Mhm.
with geopolitical shifts, the U.S.-China discussions, the climate, disruption also. Tech disruption is also one element that we have to take into consideration. Um, and I think that small choices compound into irreversible path if they are ignored. So we need to be careful here. But as we said, yes, definitely, that's what's happening.
And what do you think this phenomenon it means to all people? What do you think it's going to represent to the world? I mean, consequences.
Consequences for people, right? So you mean for
Yeah,
everybody, right?
yeah,
Um, Frankly, I don't know. I just can see that with all the discussion that we already had, uh, things are evolving, and there are some of them that are evolving are touching people. So we're talking about AI replacing some of the jobs, for example, but there are some other examples. So at the end of the day, people will have to adapt to whatever is happening. And that's why we hope that nothing major is happening, because you and I, we still want to have our lives. We want to make sure that we have our daily routine. We have new things to learn, etc. If there is a major event in the US or in Europe, etc., this can be disrupted completely, right? And in this case, this will have a huge impact on day-to-day lives for everybody. We are not there. We are not at this stage, thanks God, and I really hope that we will not be.
nice. Aristide, what do you want executives, not just regular readers, to take away from the novel?
Well, the message would be, and your auditors, if they read the book, they will see that very clearly. Um, Stay vigilant about the ethical erosion in systems. Ethical erosion in systems. Okay, and I'm talking about all types of societies and systems here. So stay vigilant. Build resilience through relationships and adaptability. This is true in business. Very, very true and very important in business. You know, Heitor, you have experience also. You know that power corrupts subtly. Okay,
Yeah,
it can really corrupt, and so in one sense, don't assume that stability is permanent. Don't assume that. It's not true. Okay, it's always moving. Uh, and finally, I would say through the book, this is what you can also understand. Hopefully, is that use your influence wisely uh, before crossing irreversible lines. That's something that you can read between the lines in the book.
amazing. We have a question here. It's kind of complex. Think about it. Reckless spending, political death. No more vote buying projects with backroom deals. The politician's interest finally aligns with the nation's. Stay solvent. Fiscal responsibility stops being a choice and becomes survival. Simple, direct, effective. Do you agree?
Yes, yes, I do. And frankly speaking, I don't know if this person is from Europe, but this is what we see mostly in Europe, and uh, that's a big topic in some countries in Europe. Okay, if I take the example of France, because this is an example, a country that I know pretty well. Um, fiscal aspects here are out of sense, out of sense. And the last budget still increased the fiscal pressure for people. And so, until when this will be possible for people to sustain that? Until when? And paying taxes is not a problem. Huh? I think that as your auditor is inciting, it's good, no problem. But you pay taxes for what? If you don't have, when you buy something and you don't have what you are expecting buying it, you say, you go back to the vendor and say, listen, I'm not very happy, there is a problem here, right? So you cannot do that with the tax aspects. And that's a problem. So people are wondering, where is going my money? Okay. And when you say it's simple, direct, and effective, it is simple and direct. Effective, I would put a question mark here.
Thanks. Guys, this is the Aristide book. The link for it, it's on Amazon. It was just released on 2025, right?
Yes,
Yeah, 10
correct.
November 2025. So, and it has very good reviews. Okay, it's 4.4 stars on Amazon. So I really recommend it. I'm going to give one copy of the book to the, I think it's R. Rusher. Okay, Rusher, please send me your information. Then I'm going to send you a copy of the ebook. Okay, I'm providing my phone number. And that is it, Aristide. Thank you so much. It was amazing, an amazing interview. I wanted you to send a few last words to your readers, to people who might enjoy your book,
Yeah.
and a message to the prosperity.
Yeah. So, first of all, I want to thank you for hosting me, Heitor. It was very nice. And I think that we had a very interesting conversation. Hopefully, this is true also for your auditors. I would say I can talk about the book for hours and hours. I don't think this is really useful. Uh, don't hesitate to buy the book, and above all, don't hesitate to come back to me. You can do it through Amazon, and give me your feedback, and we can discuss about it, because there are many topics that I'm developing throughout this novel of The Point of No Return, and that includes also geopolitical aspects. So just like Heitor and I, we talked about in this podcast. So I would be really, really pleased to continue the conversation with you.
One last question. Do you plan to make a continuation for the book, for the novel?
So I'm right now finishing another book. It's in French for the moment. So The Point of No Return is also in French, actually. It's called Point de No Retour. And this new book that should be published, if I'm not wrong, should be around within 3 months, actually, is composed of 9 short stories, 9 novels. And each novel talk about a flow of a human. So there are themes that are developed, like fear, like violence, like lack of luck, etc. In each novel, is everything is different. So you have one happening in the US, one happening in India, one happening in Switzerland, etc. So it's completely different each time in different countries, because I know those countries, so I can use my knowledge here. And a completely different story each time, but it talks about one of these human bad aspects, unfortunately.
Okay, Aristide, thank you so much. I know that you are short on time. And for the audience, thank you so much for watching. the interview, and that's it. Tomorrow we're going to have another interview with a startup founder. It's amazing, Aristide, how younger people are creating business. There was this guy with 23 years old that he created a marketplace for content creators. So very big companies, they are hiring small content creators on a marketplace, just an app on your mobile phone. And I'm going to
Okay.
interview this guy tomorrow.
Nice.
He's from Brazil.
I will definitely take a look at it. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, guys. So
And
that's
thank
it.
you
Thank you so much,
to
Aristide.
Russia for your nice words.
Okay. Thank you, guys. Bye bye.
Goodbye.